What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Welcome to Street Smart Christian.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am joined by my two esteemed colleagues. A couple of dumpster
All right.
muppets.
Start over. Couple of
No.
dumpsters.
Wow.
Whoa, what's going on with you?
Oh, dude.
You guys ready for the holidays?
It's
Yeah.
right around the corner.
It
man.
is. It's less than a week. No,
Yeah, well,
kind
you
of.
count the weekend. It's about a week.
Yeah.
You ready for that? You guys got your gifts all bought?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, pretty much for the most part.
You?
No.
Are you a last minute shopper?
No.
You're just not buying anything this year?
No.
Do you ever say yes?
Mhm.
No.
No, my wife does all of our shopping.
Oh, so you don't have to worry about it.
Dang, dude.
Mm-mm. Mainly because my wife has all the money.
Okay.
Because last week nobody scanned a QR code.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a difference. So thank you to our YouTube
How many
audience.
scans a week would you think you get on average?
I don't know. It doesn't tell you. Doesn't tell you. I mean, maybe some people, but most people that donate are people that I know. So I think
It tells you who donated,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Tells you who.
unless you choose to like be anonymous.
I don't know if it has that option because you get paperwork as a tax write-off for donating to a ministry. So it's the same thing like if you tithe here at church, Living Word sends a tax document at the end of the year,
Really?
and it has a total of everything that you tithed. If you write a check, if you give cash, then nobody
Yeah,
knows.
cash ain't accountable.
But everybody who writes a check at the end of the year, Bob sends out a tax form that you can use on your taxes.
Wow.
It's the same thing for donating to a ministry. So everybody who donated to me via their credit card or check is going to get a piece of paper at the end of the year that has a total of what they donated, and they can write it off on their taxes.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that at all.
So if I donate Vietnamese dong, how will that?
You're not going to get anything. You're not going to get nothing.
Still need to do that.
Theo donated. I did.
Nice.
I did.
I'm just going to hit crickets right now.
Did you, Brandon?
No, but Mestis Automotive does.
Oh
so-
yeah. Okay, then we're good. We're covered.
No, he works there. You don't work there.
It's got my name in it.
I guess it doesn't say Mestis Automotive. It says Dave and Shannon. So
Their company.
no, it just has their name. Is
So
don't
do they both get tax write-off?
they file their taxes together. So when you're married, you file joint. Yeah. You guys take your son to see Santa Claus?
Me?
You're the only one in the room who has
You
a son.
guys.
I said, did you take your son to go see Santa Claus?
I haven't had him yet, so this month. I had him on the weekend, but we were busy.
Are you gonna go see Santa Claus?
Sure.
We took
If he
Ella.
wants to. I mean, I don't know if he wants to.
I think you can till like you're 8 or something,
So he has one more year to do it.
or 8 or 9. I don't know what
Dude,
the
that's
cutoff
like, this
is.
is the
But
last time you can go see Santa in the mall.
why you got to go to the mall?
Where did you go?
We went to the Buffalo Ranch in Lyman. And yeah,
Was it real Santa?
yeah, it was real Santa
How do you know it was real Santa?
because he flew in a sleigh.
No, I'll ask him. I mean, we're so busy on the weekends. He's got a wrestling tournament this Saturday in Denver. So we'll be up there most of the day.
Hmm.
And then dude, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a guy thing in a room full of guys here. Decorating? Does that sound like fun?
When I
I
was
enjoy
younger,
it sometimes, but
You enjoyed it when you were younger?
yeah, I enjoyed just seeing it because it was something different and shiny and bright.
No, putting it up, decorating, doing it.
I guess, yeah.
So he wants to do that. And I'm like, yeah, sure, buddy.
Maybe he just wants the holiday spirit.
I know. Yeah.
and you're just shooting him down.
Well, I tell her, I don't
Yeah.
say no. I don't say no. I don't know. It's been a few years. I think this is like the 4th year now where I just was like, you got a tree at Mimi's house. That's where we'll go for Christmas. I don't know. I'm kind of a Scrooge now. Not intentionally.
Do you guys buy does everybody buy everybody gifts in your family, or do you draw names?
I don't draw
Like,
names.
do you have to buy a gift for Brandon and Christina and your
No.
mom and your dad?
No, like the last few years we haven't done that. I mean, I did, but
Or do you do
none
like
of them-
or do you do the white
none of them
elephant
did.
thing?
I did it, but none of them did.
All right. Do you do like white? So like
And they kind of tried to do it
my
this year.
mom's side of the family, the Norvals, we go, and growing up, it used to be kind of a white elephant thing, and then they would do like,
Why has it got to be a white elephant?
I don't know what, it's just what they call it, I guess.
Oh,
And then they had what was called like, they would do gag gifts for the adults.
that could get a
Which
little
were
dicey.
yeah. It used
Yeah.
to, I remember even as a kid. But then now all we do now is everybody buys a $10 lottery ticket. But you know it's and then they have this game where so everybody's got their ticket, and then everybody passed it to the left 3 times, and then to the right 4 times, and it all goes along with this Christmas game. Toward the end of it, you didn't have the same ticket.
What if you did?
I mean, I guess if it works out that way, but it's like
It's all
pass it. Yeah, and then at the end, whatever you have in your hand, then you go scratch the ticket. I never win, and then I just want to go home.
Who's won the most?
I think the most anybody's won so far is like $100. I think.
Dang,
Wow.
who won that?
I don't remember because I wanted to go home. I
You
didn't want to have fun anymore. I didn't want to have fun anymore. I'm like, oh man, Daddy's got to buy some Christmas gifts. Nothing. Nothing.
No, I think last year I think we did the whole like white elephant thing where you
Steal and
$15 to $20 you buy a present.
yeah, and put it in a pile. Nobody knows
Yeah,
where it came
you
from.
can steal it twice or once, and I think we're doing the same thing this year too.
Yeah.
Then Jax,
wow.
I mean, he'll get
Yeah.
all the gifts.
Would it be funny if they did white elephants to those kids too, where you could either like they open a gift and
Oh,
like,
there'd be
yes,
so many
I
fights.
love Spider-Man, and then you stole, you know,
No,
and then
I
they-
did.
and then you traded. They got like bars of soap.
Handles. That's cold.
And they're just like, because they were already playing, taking it out of the box like kids do. You're like, no, gave him a
Dude,
sweater.
you're sick, bro. I'm not the Scrooge here. You are.
Oh man, I think that would be I would love that Christmas. No, and then but Kaylee's side of the family, it's still just everybody buys for everybody.
It's a
But
tough
they
one.
were a small family too. They had
Yeah,
2 kids, and then they so everybody buys for everybody, and Kaylee, it'll be from me and Kaylee to Ben and Kelsey. That's my brother and sister-in-law. So I don't have to buy one for him and then one for her, and then vice versa. But
Yeah.
How many gifts does Ella get from Santa?
she'll get. I think we do like the one main gift and then a bunch of little stocking stuffers.
Anything from you and Kaylee?
No,
Really?
we don't believe in that.
Wait, what?
Santa Claus can take care of it. We don't buy her anything. Yeah, of course. Dude, I'm pretty sure my wife's probably got her like 8 things. I'm pretty sure, but it's still pretty simple where coloring books are good and
Yeah, no, at her
books,
age,
but this year she wants a baby doll.
I think she
lots
needs
of
a
bottles.
karaoke machine,
She has one.
like a industrial size one.
Oh, like a commercial.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if you get a 2-year-old a commercial karaoke
She
machine.
may
mean,
have
you
that
could-
for the rest of her life,
You
dude.
could go to
I
Sam's.
think
and
she'll
get
probably
one.
dump milk on it and ruin it. And then it costs me
No.
14 grand. Yeah, no, the kids definitely will get spoiled from grandma and grandpa's and
Where will you do it at your
at
home?
Kaylee's mom's house in their basement. We always do it there. And then they do, I was talking to a friend of mine today about it. They do like, they kind of have their own little family tradition where they got 2 Santa Claus hats, and whoever wears those hats has to pass out the
Yeah.
gifts.
used to do
so
that.
when they give it to them, like, never put that on my head again. And I just sit there in the dark corner by myself. But we have dinner, and then everybody just starts. Once they're passed out, we don't do like the whole go around, and that takes forever.
So you do the kids first, and then
No, everybody just has a free for all.
Yeah.
Once they're out, everybody just starts tearing into stuff. My mom and dad used to make us go by age, like oldest to youngest.
oldest first.
Yeah, the oldest, and then so it'd be
How do you
my
get the
dad,
young
my
ones to
mom.
sit there and wait?
Well, there was no grandkids then. It was like when it was just us.
Oh, you
Oh.
like teenagers.
Yeah, it was oldest to youngest, and then now everybody's so spread out. Like my brother does their own thing. Like we'll have our normal family Christmas. That's just a family. That's more of a potluck deal, anyways, and just get together. And then they
Yeah,
have
you do
me.
that the
They have
weekend.
me do a little 10-minute sermon deal.
Mm.
But it sucks because every year it's like somebody else died. So I'm like, huh? Another one bites the dust. You know, it's like, and then and people are bawling, and I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to do a real positive get to do, because they always wanted like the family unit and meeting. And when my uncle died, or was it? He might have still been alive. He died like 3 weeks later. I did something on like keeping family together and the importance of that and scriptures and stuff. And everybody's just, I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
And then he died. So then I had to do the next Christmas one. Well, da da da. Now, then my cousin was murdered. So now this is one. He died in April.
Oof.
So
Wow.
that's this
gonna
Christmas.
be
So
a
I'm like, y'all could take a break
Yeah.
with the dying.
It's
That'd be
hard.
great,
It's
yeah.
hard during the holiday season because you
Yeah,
you
you know.
remember the ones that are no longer there with you celebrating.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
already rough. Like I said today, I was thinking to myself, like, every holiday podcast, and we still got, hopefully we get to do one more podcast before,
Yeah, I think we
because the next Wednesday after that is Christmas
Oh, it is.
Day.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, so we're going to have youth group or what? And I'm like, no. They're like, why?
will. That's kind of cool. They want to spend
Yeah.
Christmas here.
So, but I was thinking, like, man, this time of year can be tough. And are we doing our jobs as Christians to be there? And are we praying for the right things? I mean, as Christians, you always hear, like, what's the real reason for the season? Well, yeah, we get that. We know we celebrate our Savior's birth. We're celebrating the fact that Christ came to earth, fully man, fully God. We know that. But are we focusing on the brothers and sisters that are really going through it? Whether it be financially, whether it be, not being able to buy gifts.
It's the same as financially.
Yeah. Or is it they lost somebody this year?
Yeah.
this is first Christmas without somebody. There's all kinds of different reasons. 75. I read that the statistic was that depression and a mental shift happens to over 75% of the population in the United States during the holidays.
75%.
Not
Wow.
necessarily making a deep down depression, but a mental shift that goes along the line. So you might not be full blown out depressed, but you're
Yeah.
not as chipper as you were.
Well, it could be
in
a shift
July.
into happiness too.
Yeah.
Right.
No, this was specifically for people like going
For a
down.
stat?
Yeah.
Dang,
This was that.
dude.
Yeah, I didn't look up the statistic.
Only
of who gets happier.
25% of people are happy.
It's what it says when it comes. But do you think about it? How many of those people are believers, unbelievers? Because even believers get depressed, that's for sure. But we live in a financially driven world where it's all about the gift, the
Yeah.
price of the
Yeah.
gift,
Yeah.
inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Can't afford groceries, can't afford to go see family, can't do this, can't do that. Oh, my wife bought me a flat screen and all I can get her is a quilt. It's all that stuff goes into factor. I wish that we could. I mean, I like getting stuff just as much as the next guy. And I like to buy gifts for people that are good. But I wish we could get back to just like,
Traditional Christmas.
yeah, and yes, we need to be as Christians celebrating our Savior's birth, the reason for the season, out there evangelizing and touching on those key scriptures in Matthew and Luke and everything, where we talk about our Savior's coming. But we also need to make sure that the family unit is intact. And
What do
that
you
we're not
mean?
only just preaching, but we're loving our neighbors, as it says in Matthew, to love your neighbor as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to do those kind of things. I think that that's really missing because we're too focused on the materialistic
Yeah.
facts of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we get after Christmas, we do these New Year's. Next year's going to be different.
Yeah. I don't
I'm
like
gonna
those.
save my money.
I don't like those New Year revolutions, whatever they're called, or
Revolution.
New Year, new me.
We know what Theo's doing.
So, Theo, I have a question for you. What you said, traditional Christmas, what is that to you?
Just celebrating the birth of our Savior, not focusing all on everything on gifts and making our children believe that that's what Christmas is truly about. That's just a year, a
Yeah,
time
that's
of season
tough.
when we get
Yeah.
toys and all that kind of stuff. But when there's really a deeper meaning behind Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Theo could relate to this. I don't know about you guys so much, but you guys, Domestis as a family unit is who will be at your house at Christmas, probably Auntie Sylvia, and that they're all a group of believers already.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to have a huge household or a family of people that are like, let's not talk about that. Where like when and that's the same thing with my wife and her family and with my mom and dad. But when I go to the normal Christmas,
There's some
a mix.
divisions,
There's a
isms,
mix.
and schisms.
Yeah, for sure. And so,
What does
how
that
is
mean? Hold on. What is isms and schisms?
I don't
I
know.
feel like Rick says that.
What does that look like in your house, Theo? Does your mom always just taking control and saying we're going to talk about Christ a little bit, or is it just not brought up at the dinner table while you're doing Christmas?
it's not really brought up.
I mean,
Is it big?
I'm not picking
Do
on
what?
you.
Your whole family, like,
It used to be very big, yes. We used to have, so my grandmother, before she passed, and she had 5 brothers.
dang.
Yeah. And then,
Those are all. Wait, so does that make them your uncle?
Great
yeah,
uncles.
great uncles.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then when I was younger, we used to have a big family Christmas dinner and all that. And then Thanksgivings were pretty big. And then there was a couple family fights that kind of broke that up. And
Really?
yeah.
like there were that big of fights to
Mhm.
where it stopped.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's what kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Adam? Like, I mean, our family,
Yeah.
me and Brandon's family, we're blessed. Like, we've had our ups and downs with some individuals, myself and being one of them sometimes. But like, we're very tight knit.
Well, the family is close, but you just not there. It's got its ups and downs when it comes to talking on Christ or keeping it centered on Christ, and it leans a little bit more towards this is a party.
Yeah, that's I
They
can.
lose too much.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, I'm not downing anybody or
No,
saying that is a huge problem. It's just,
I mean, it is
It's
a
a
birthday party.
well, yeah, but I mean, this is like
You ever been to a
you need
quinceañera?
somebody to take you home party.
Oh yeah.
It turns into that's more the focus than anything.
Yeah, you'll lose sight of what you're celebrating really quick with that. I feel
Mhm.
like. I mean,
Right, and that's okay. It's just
yeah,
yeah. I don't know if the little ones at those parties are getting anything of why we're even doing that.
they're just enjoying the festive.
Right.
Like
And
I don't
think-
remember growing up any like conversation about
No, and that's
Christ
No.
and
and I
stuff, like
think
the
that's
prayer.
the problem.
The prayer, yeah, like
I think we need to be
and
bringing these little ones up in.
here, the
Yeah.
biggest memory I have that involved Christ was coming to church
Right.
for the candlelit service.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's
Like that was
happening again.
huge. That's always been huge for me, and you know, I feel like it's important that I bring my son to that.
Yeah, Tuesday the 24th,
Yeah,
5 p.m.
5:30.
No, if you show up at 5:30, you're going to be very upset because it's going to be half over. Starts at 5 p.m.
Well, I might have to show up early to that.
You're going to show up early.
Yeah.
Do you work on Christmas Eve?
No, I get 2 weeks off.
All right,
I'm using some PTO. Okay.
all right.
Paid time off. I earned it. You know?
All right.
I'll give you some. You want some?
No. I got plenty of time off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The PTO. Yeah. The plenty of time off.
Yeah. Plenty of time off. Yeah. So everybody's got family for the holidays. Everybody's coming to your mom and dad's.
Yeah, I think that's the decision this year. Like the year before that, we went to my sister's for Christmas.
Oh, you went up to Fort
We brought the
Collins.
whole family.
Oh,
up there,
wow.
dude! That was kind of an endeavor, because it was right after Jay passed too.
Oh yeah.
So that was a
Yeah.
little tough. But we got my aunt and my uncle to go out. I drove them all the way up to Fort Collins, and you know,
What
the
did you
B-
sleep?
the Airbnb we got.
Oh, you got Airbnb.
It was like 3 stories, and they stairs are not their friend.
Yeah.
They were still able to at that point pretty well, but yeah, so it was good. I think for the past few years, I've kind of gotten frustrated with it because,
Yeah.
you know, my situation and with Jax, like he's not getting what I had
Yeah.
growing up as, you know, a Mestis with the whole family. Like we always had huge parties.
Mhm.
Huge parties for anything. We had any excuse to get together, we would, and we'd have like, I don't know. Always felt like there was like 20 people in our house.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Do you feel that way, Brandon? Like it felt like that was
Yeah.
the way that we grew up, and then it just as you get older, that
Slowly.
Yeah.
your
No,
family
I
starts
see
to
what you're
break
saying now.
away,
Yeah.
and like, you know, yeah, people go off and do their thing.
Yeah.
All of us siblings are still kind of walking through the fields of
Yeah. Yeah.
loneliness and depression, but
All right.
you know, like it's just weird to see. Like as a kid, I feel like you remember that stuff so
Yeah.
Vividly.
vividly, and it made you feel such a type of way that like this is amazing. Like,
Yeah, yeah. When my grandmother was still alive, that Christmas Eve, and they lived in Peyton. Christmas Eve was in Peyton. And that's
Mhm.
where we had every Christmas Eve. That's when my mom's side of the family had their Christmas. And as a kid, I remember all of your uncles were there,
yeah,
all of your
Cousins.
aunts, all of your cousins, everybody. It was just packed to the gills. And my grandmother would have us grandkids put on Christmas programs.
Oh wow.
She would have us practice it like all week, and we would do songs, and she would make the costumes, and it would always be that. So then all the family would be sitting in the living room, and we'd be in the middle of the living room playing songs, reading Bible verses, doing little skits and plays. And then
So this was your mom's
my
mom?
mom's mom, and then it was then they moved to Lamar. We started going out there, but then the drive was a little longer. You didn't get as many people again, and then every year after that, obviously my grandma passed away, my grandfather passed away, aunt passes away, two uncles pass away, and it just gets smaller to now. I think they're trying to make it a big deal again, but they invite like their family, friends,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people for a big potluck.
It's hard.
But
I
it's
feel
not
guilty
it's not that warm family
that we knew as a
feeling
kid. Yeah.
that was at grandma's house, and the gifts were exchanged, and they had the funny gag gifts between the brothers and sisters that were the aunts and uncles, but they would do that, and then it's not that anymore. And it's hard because cousins then became adults. So technically my cousins are always like, I just don't understand why. I'm like, do you realize we are that age that they were now? Like, it's up to us
I
to
know.
carry on that tradition.
Yeah.
But we still feel like we're the kids because our parents are still alive.
Hmm.
And so it's their job to do it. But now I've got cousins that live in like by Washington, D.C. and Georgia and Texas and everywhere. So they're not just Colorado Springs. And that's the hard part. But it's at what point do we as adults now
Step into that.
take
role.
that
Yeah.
role and say,
Yeah.
and a lot of it has to do with because a lot of us, and this is no diss on us, but our parents were a little farther along than what we are now. Like they
Yeah.
had
Why
their-
is that?
they had well, it was a different time then too. But they had their own homes. The homes were a little bigger. They had more of a family look and vibe to it.
Yeah.
Where a lot of us, I mean, I live in a little tiny house. My cousins, some of them are renting, and there's no grandma's house really anymore. So,
Yeah. And I kind of feel guilty that I have the ability to do that, or not the ability, the space, and I should be going all out and having the tree and having the party at
Yeah.
my house where
Yeah.
my son is,
Yeah.
because I'm the one with the kid.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the next generation, and I don't do anything.
no.
I sit there like, yeah, Mimi's got it all.
My
And
wife
I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to be.
My wife has more Christmas decorations than a Hobby Lobby.
Dang, your whole house, bro.
Well, yeah, no, just in even stored. Like we could take the decorations down every day and put new ones up.
For the
For
whole
a
month
whole
of
month.
December.
Wow.
Yeah, she. I don't have to worry about her hearing this because just the other day she was like, "Do you guys?" Because I told her I was excited about. Thank you guys for 12,000 views on YouTube, but she's like, I said, but they're like 1 minute clips. She's like, yeah, that makes sense. You guys are on there for like an hour, and I can't even watch that long. And I was like,
Ouch.
and she's like, I didn't mean it like that, but who has time? And I'm like, I went to bed, dude. I
Like, I'm going to
like,
sleep.
there's never been a time where you're like on cloud 9 and then yeah, it makes sense. You got that much many views. You're only on for a minute. All right.
I mean,
right.
there's some science to that.
Yeah.
There's some science to that because, like, I don't listen to podcasts that much anymore.
I do.
The only time I do is when I can give it my undivided attention.
Right. Well, but to see now, the channel itself, though, grew by 12 new subscribers, where we were not getting one for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Those 1 minute.
And all I did was make a 1 minute video that said, please subscribe to our channel.
Please.
And that got 560 views in 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But where was I going with that?
No idea. But anyways,
Timestamp.
no, dude, it sucks because there's a time in it's hard to
decorations.
accept. Yeah, we were talking about that, but it's hard to accept the fact that the torch has to be passed.
Yeah. And then they
And
don't give a crap.
And it's up to us and the generation that we're all a part of is like stupid.
It's weird though too,
Yeah.
because
Even though we don't mean
we
it.
don't-
Like,
Yeah.
you guys still have a grandma. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I have one left.
So-
That's-
Well,
Cherish it.
now
No, but I don't look at my mom as grandma. You know what I mean? So
Well, yeah, 'cause
I don't
she's not
have
your
that
grandma.
grandma that's putting on the family functions anymore.
yeah.
The grandma that was that glue to the family unit.
yeah.
And so
You hear that, Mom?
Yeah.
Which camera do I look at? You hear that?
yeah. Well, you still have
Where you at, Grandma?
you have Christmas at your
Well, I know that that's for Jax. Yeah, so yeah, she's doing a good job.
but yeah, and she was the little sweet old lady with the short gray hair, and yeah, it's not the same anymore. You had grandma and grandpa kind of sitting at the end or in the middle there and kind of directing traffic and make sure the food was out and telling stories.
She do all the
Yeah.
cooking and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she'd do all of it. And then, yeah, just. And so now when you go to Christmas, you're just like, I saw you guys yesterday. Like, big whoop. No, but it's just not that faint. That like
Well, there's something to that too. Is like
sitting
you
at
are
the table.
moved away from your family.
Right.
Like getting together like that is like so much better because you don't see them every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the problem is the
There's
people that
differences.
moved away
Yeah, there
now
is.
they don't come. So
Yeah.
you put it together and it's the same people that you see every day. You know,
Yeah.
could have stayed at home and you could have just called me.
FaceTime.
Yeah, but no, it's I missed the big, but like you said, yeah, the torch had to be passed, and we're just falling short of getting the ball rolling, getting the word out there. Hey, guys, this is what I'm thinking. Let's do this.
Do you think that's because, obviously the family like structure is deteriorated?
Yeah, I
I
think.
mean, there's a lot of blended families. There's a lot of,
a little bit, but I think a lot of it is how we were brought up is changed.
Yeah.
The family
Yeah.
unit started a lot quicker for my grandma and grandpa.
yeah.
They had to grow up a lot faster than we did. So by the time they were already grandma and grandpa, they had achieved 100 times more than what we could ever fathom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
And the family unit
know,
meant
right?
that much more to them. I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything to us, but it meant that much more to keep that glue together
Because they worked
that's
so
all
hard.
They knew
Yeah.
to where everything is at our fingertips.
Yeah.
They grew up where they couldn't call people every day.
Yeah.
They grew up when they couldn't just get on the cell phone. They actually had to, and hey,
Yeah. There's no caller ID. Oh, I'm
it
not
wa-
going to
there was
answer
a
that. It's
little
Adam
bit-
calling.
There was more excitement in getting everybody together because some people you might not have seen for a whole year.
Yeah.
Where I might not physically see a cousin for a whole year, but I can FaceTime her. You know, I can
Who is that comedian
Holler.
talking about like how excited they would get when the doorbell would ring?
Yeah.
Who
I
was
don't
that, dude?
know,
It's
but
it's a good skit. Like, but it's true. Like,
yeah.
as a kid, you're like, who's coming to the door?
Yeah.
Well, when the phone would ring in the
Or the
kitchen and you're like,
phone,
who's
dude.
calling on the phone? And yeah. So that element of excitement and getting everybody together is kind of faded because you can talk to somebody anytime you want to. You can text them anytime you want to. You can send pictures. You can hop on social media.
Yeah.
You already know what they've done all year long because they posted it on social media.
Mhm.
So there's not that need to sit down, break bread, and say, how has your year been? Wow, the kids have grown.
Right.
I can't believe how big they've gotten. Wow, this is crazy. That's in the past because we are in a generation of right now. We had a young man come fix the Dish Network. I didn't even know our Dish Network was still on. And come fix it at my house the other day. And he said he was part of Generation Z. And I was asking him about the downfall of DirecTV and Dish Network, like if it's real, if he can notice it with streaming. He's like, yeah, a little bit. He's like, but he's like a young man. I'm like, we had to throw that out there. A young guy, a young man bought out Dish Network because Dish Network ended up owing a whole lot of money and they weren't making any money
Who to who? China?
to whoever investor. I don't know, whatever. And he said, so the guy told Dish Network, and he had 75% stock in DirecTV already. He said, I will pay off all of your debt and buy your company for $1. So the debt was like millions.
Hmm.
So this young guy paid millions of their dollars, their debt off, paid them $1, and then became the CEO of Dish Network. And he's
Wow.
already 75% owner in DirecTV. So he basically owns that.
Corner of the market.
And so so now he's going to merge DirecTV and Dish Network together because one can't survive. They can't survive against each other because streaming is taking over everything.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it's the
dude.
same
Wow.
thing that happened to Sirius and XM. Though those were two separate satellite radios.
And then they merged.
Then they had to merge together because Pandora came out.
Streamers.
Yeah, Spotify, all that.
Wow.
So it'll be in the next 3 or 4 years when you'll actually see the merge. But he was pretty smart. He's like, yeah, I'm Gen Z, so I am the generation of I want it right now. Because I asked him, do you think this will totally die off? And he's like, as of right now, we're actually still pretty busy with the boomers and Generation X because they're still living in a generation where they don't want all the streaming because they don't want to spend the time to find what they want to watch. They want the menu that's on DirecTV to tell them what they're going to watch.
At what time?
Yeah.
Like my grandmother had the TV guide.
Mhm.
She looked to see what was going to be on. So she looked forward to Wednesday because this was going to be on. Same thing with DirecTV. You can't just really pick what you can pick what you're going to watch. But if you're watching TNT, you're going to watch what's on that time slot.
Yeah.
You can't skip over because this is coming on at 10:30. You want to watch it right now. You can't do that.
You got to get through the
So
others
they
first.
still like the old fashioned. I'm gonna watch what this is because it's on right now, and I looked forward all day to seeing this.
Yeah.
Where Gen Z is like, I want to watch the whole series now.
Binge
Yeah,
watch.
I want to binge watch. I want to pop around and I want to pick what I want to watch.
Mhm.
And so that just goes along with what we're talking about. The family is not as tight anymore because
It's
there's
all at
not
our
that
fingertips.
mystery of who's doing what. I remember writing letters when I was a kid. I wrote a letter. We were in a 4-H exchange group. We went to South Carolina, North Carolina, and then this little girl, we were like 15, wrote me a letter, and I was like, oh. And she was a cute girl, and I'm like, so then I write her a letter. I have to wait a whole other week. But
How'd you
Man,
know her
I-
address or where to send it to?
because we were in the 4-H where you had like a Rolodex of everybody's names and not a you know what I mean,
Dude,
like,
I have-
like we have in
Yeah.
a church directory.
I wrote the last time I wrote a letter was to a girl,
Yeah, this
and
is-
I got heartbroken so bad because of this letter.
Yeah,
I never did again. I was like,
but I remember sprinting
it was so bad, dude.
to the mailbox, waiting for that letter.
If you hear this, Rachel, you hurt me.
But wrote letters back and forth, and then going to get your
You were to
pictures
sprint
developed.
to the mailbox. You remember doing that? You said.
Yeah, to go see if the letter came back. Like she wrote a letter back.
So what, she just walked to your mailbox and put it in there?
She lived in North Carolina, so she wrote a letter, put it in the mailbox.
How
the
did you
postal
know
service.
each other?
Dude, Brandon, I don't think he listened to the whole story.
Sorry.
I was in what was
Was
called
she
the 4-H
traumatized?
exchange program.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
They took a bunch of us young kids and sent us to North Carolina to stay with other
Sorry, I'm
families.
just reliving trauma. I'm sorry.
The families would all do the same activities. So everybody got to know each other for a week. We all had like a directory like the church has in the 4-H exchange.
With their addresses.
Yes. So she sent me a letter through the
She
postal
found
service.
your address and said you were
Yes, because everybody had each other's addresses. She sent me a letter saying, "Hey, I thought you were pretty cute, kind of cool." And that young love, that I live in Calhoun, Colorado. I'm Greensboro, North Carolina.
and you like
That's
remembered
obviously
her
not-
name and
I don't remember.
like no in that moment like as a kid you were like
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
dang.
yeah. And I remembered. Oh man, she was the cute girl. No way.
You're showing all your buddies. Look at this, dude.
No, because I didn't have anybody.
Oh,
No, but it was in the summertime, and then you would take a selfie of yourself, and then go develop it at Walmart, and then stick it in your letter, send it.
oh, whoa!
we didn't even have
dude.
cell
We're
phones.
going
dude.
back far.
There was no camera phones back
How
then.
would you take a selfie? Oh,
With the camera,
dude, I remember.
yes, that kind. Yeah.
Dude.
Yes, you go get the dollar cameras, and then take it, drop it off at Walmart, and wait.
Yep.
Go do the 48-hour or whatever.
Dude, I want
2 hour
Look at that
processing.
picture of young Adam is doing a selfie. Like,
Yeah,
oh, gee, that was the
Yeah,
original
with
selfie,
like a
dude.
beach hat and no shirt. I think I got that picture at home
You
still.
do?
Yeah,
Good.
but I sent it, and then she would send a picture of her family or whatever. I'm like, good family. But that's how you did it. But you couldn't call because it was long distance. So you just wrote letters.
I think
And I missed that. Dude, that was so like
Innocent.
thoughtfully had to think what you were going to write because it was going to take a week to get there. So you write 2-page letter of everything that you were doing that week and what's going on. And you had to think about it. You couldn't just send a 2-sentence text.
yeah.
You just had to send the letter and then fold it up and put a stamp on it. And then they would send a letter back. Maybe you get a picture or something. It was just, yeah.
Different times.
Man, yeah. Like there's no emotion in anything anymore. You know what I mean? There's like,
Or there's you overread too much.
yeah.
Like you read into those one line texts
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah. I do remember when I was in school, I think my 3rd grade year was the last year we learned cursive, writing checks, writing letters, how a bank.
Dang, they taught you
works.
writing checks in school?
Yeah. Yep. My 3rd grade year was checks, cursive, how a bank works, and all that.
Did they tell you to file your taxes too?
I don't remember if they did or not.
They didn't teach us none of that.
They didn't teach me any of that, but no, they didn't teach me how to file taxes, but I do remember
It's like the worst thing.
we
ever.
had to build a little town. We had to build banks and all that. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like we had little cardboard cutouts of a school, a government office, a bank, and all that, and we had to present it.
I feel like I kind of remember that too.
Hmm.
That's
I think so. I think that's what it was called.
a
Yeah.
diaphragma. Diorama.
Hmm.
Diorama.
Yeah, I know they don't even teach. I don't think they even teach how to write letters anymore in school.
Yeah, you gotta have the return address at the top left.
And then your address and then the stamp.
Well, yeah, and you gotta have stamps.
I've been using a lot of stamps lately.
You're mailing stuff.
Yeah, mail-in support letters to businesses, but
Yeah, no wonder nobody responded. Who uses snail mail anymore?
A lot of people.
Really?
Yeah, a lot. I remember having to talk on the phone in the kitchen of my house to friends or girls or whatever.
With the cord,
Even if it wasn't, my mom
you're
you
all
had to stay
twisted
the
up in
kitchen.
it, like.
Yeah, even if it was a cordless phone, we weren't allowed to take it to our room. You had to stay in the kitchen.
Wow.
And
Or
so you
else
just
what?
be talking to your girl, like, "Sure, yeah, what's up?"
What's up, girl?
But your dad would be sitting, like the way our house was. We had
He
a
would say
family room.
something ridiculous.
Well,
Huh?
We'd have-
What did Adam say?
we would have it was a family room when you walked in, and then it was the kitchen, and then it was the like a TV room. So you'd be by the phone, and your dad was just in the TV room, like 10 feet, like not even 10 feet away, 4 or 5 feet away in his recliner
Giggling
watching
like a
TV. And you're just
schoolgirl.
like, yeah. Needless to say, you didn't make a lot of phone calls because it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
But now, like I said, and that's all down to it now. It's you go and do these family things, and it's nice to see people face to face, but at the same time, it's like, I know everything that you've been doing. I've watched your kids grow up on a screen.
Yeah.
There's no like, what happened to your hair? You like nothing. Like it's like you got fat or whatever. It's like you already know. There's no surprise.
Did you know I gave Jax got a mullet
I saw, yeah, because you should put his haircut
for
on.
27 minutes?
Oh, what happened?
It was they're like, who let this happen? I'm like, hey, I'm letting him choose what he wants to choose.
Who said that?
His mom.
Oh,
I'm like, there was a little friction there because my mom did not like it. Meemaw did not like it. And that's why I think he did it because they're like, hey, don't get this haircut. And then he's like, because I was like, you can get a mullet. He's like, no.
yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, don't get a mullet. Mullets are gross and ugly or whatever. And then we get to the barber and he's like, I want a mullet. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, give me a mullet. I'm like, okay.
All right. Yeah.
And then, yeah. But then he's like, didn't even care after that. Like, mom didn't want to have any more. He's like, okay, whatever. I don't want it. I'm like, all right, dude. But
What? I had a mohawk his age,
yeah, dude, me too. That's what I feel like. I'm like talking about, like,
and
You guys let me do
like
that,
nobody really cared for it, but they didn't make me get a different haircut.
yeah, dude. That's how I felt it was for me too.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's a big difference. Like,
Who cares?
yeah, I don't know.
Today's generation.
It's all about the looks, bro.
Theo, did you try to grow a mullet?
I did. I had two.
You had 2 mullets at
Yeah.
the same time?
No, I had two. I had
How
one.
does that work?
I had one, and then I cut it off, and then a couple years after
Oh,
that,
you
I
got
tried
it.
it again.
Is this recently?
Pretty recent. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the mullet trend came back pretty.
Yeah, with a fiery passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to have.
I don't know. We just live in such different times, dude.
I
You
didn't get to.
have one?
No, I didn't get to have one when I was a kid, but not when I was an adult.
Well, I don't think adults really should have mullets.
But I would have liked to do it, just to say I could. But if I did, I'll look like Monty.
That's a different kind of haircut, dude.
I know, but that's what my hair would look like if I tried to grow
Oh,
it
if you
out.
grew it out.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he loud and proud, dude.
Yes.
Like
But
the
his
guys
got
that do that, I'm like, bro, you really have disassociated with what people think. And I respect that for
He's like-
real. Like to
They-
be honest, because I'm like, hey man, if like I'm not gonna be like, oh, your head's ugly.
Yeah.
Like, well, they don't care.
He just doesn't care. And it,
Your head's not ugly, Monty. You're never. Gonna people that do that, it's just like, hey man, send it.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. This day and age is very technologically,
Technologically.
yeah, it's advanced and we got
Very.
AI around the corner where it's, dude,
Yeah.
I'm watching these videos of they just released the new AI video bot or whatever.
Yeah.
They're freaky, bro.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
hyper realistic. Okay. So then you're kind of like, that looks too good.
To be true. Yeah.
But still, dude.
Yeah.
Like there was one where this like newscaster, and I'm like, what the heck? This is a real person, but it wasn't. It's
Wow.
not a real person. And you're like, it's just crazy.
And it's
Yeah.
advancing fast too.
It's gonna
No, I think that family traditions need to be brought back.
how do we do that in this?
I think it's just what we have to do. We as parents that have young kids have the power to create
That unity.
traditions and get-togethers and family unit things, even with broken families. My mom was married 3 times, and my brothers had to bounce from their dads to ours. So the traditions ended up being Christmas Eve was at my mom's house, and then Christmas Day was for my brothers to go to their dads.
Oh, they didn't spend the day with you?
No, they just did Christmas Eve was our Christmas.
Oh, so you would open presents and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
everything on Christmas Eve. and
What would
then
you do on Christmas Day?
just hang out at home and
Play with your toys
Yeah,
that you got?
yeah,
Whoa.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's something that Jack said to me tonight. He's like, I get to have 2 Christmases. I'm like, did
Yeah.
you write Santa about that? He's like, no, I'm not writing a letter. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, no, it's
So it's even worse when you don't want to write letters at my age. These
Yeah.
young kids, they don't want to. I'm like, did you write Santa a letter? No. I just told the elf to go tell him what I want.
yeah, which is kind of cool. Like my mother-in-law is keeping that family tradition with them going. I mean, obviously things change when you get married, so the Christmas Eve at mom's house doesn't really happen anymore, but everybody's married. My middle brother's married, I'm married. So we have I guess it's Christmas Day at my mother-in-law's house because Christmas Eve is well, we did have Christmas Eve at my brother's house, but I guess we're not going to do that this year. But I'll be here at church.
Yeah, I think that's it's like a super important
Yeah, for
one
sure.
to be a part of because it's so, I don't know.
And
It's
you
just
got to
been-
get over this whole I don't go to a church. Like, stop. Dude. I am so
Yeah,
sick of hearing
that-
Yeah.
people say that.
Yeah, it's
I don't go to a church.
after COVID, dude, that really I think was the biggest part of people like staying away.
Well, staying away and people are hurt by religion. So if you don't go to a church, it's probably because it's not that you don't go to a church. You don't go to a church that you didn't like. So try a different
Yeah.
church.
Find something that you
They're
like.
not all the same. And
Mhm.
I get it all the time. Oh, I don't need to go to church to be a Christian. You're absolutely right. But it tells us in Hebrews not to forsake the assembling of one another.
Mm-hmm.
We need to fellowship. We need to iron sharpens iron. And well, I should have church anyways. Are you?
Digital church.
No, I'm not buying into the digital church. If you're sick, it's great. If you're out of town and you want to stay plugged into your local church, it's great. But it's not an excuse for you to lay on your couch every day and just watch. You're not getting fellowship.
No.
You're not
And
shaking hands.
That's a tough thing too, is that people don't go out.
No,
if
and they
don't have
got to stop. Like
People that
I get
can't.
elderly.
People that
Yeah,
can't.
people that can't. Elderly, that's what digital church is for. People who can't get around really easy, that's what it's for. But we as a church need to be going and checking in on these people, shaking hands, hugging on them, loving on them, but we don't. And the people that are just if you are 25 years old and you're on your couch in your PJs and not getting into church because it's not your thing or you're an introvert, dude, shut up, bro. Like, get out, get into a church.
Yeah.
Like, I am so sick of this stuff. And now that I'm in the ministry and I'm on the front lines for God, I'm like, stop crying like a little baby. I don't want to be around people.
That's a big
Get out of
issue
your
too.
shell.
That is a big thing. You need to be around other people
And
too.
men, like the young kids these days, have been told every day like toxic masculinity is bad.
Yeah.
Don't be a man.
Stop being a
Don't be a
pain.
man. And then like that's why I think something that happened. I don't want to bring up politics, but that's why we're where we're at now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because boys were finally like, I'm tired of being told that I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Why am I the reason that we're in this predicament?
Yeah.
I'm just a kid. This is being handed down to me.
Yeah.
I'm just a kid and my life is a nightmare.
What is that? Is that Blink-182?
No, I think it's no effect.
Sum 40.
No. Newfound Glory. No, not bullying. That's 1985. Woo.
Dude, who is it? Jamie? Who is it?
Don't worry about going in on me.
I'm just kidding. Life is a nightmare. That's the lyrics of the song.
Yeah, that is.
Dang, bro.
Simple Plan.
Dang it.
Yeah, no. So I think, yeah, dude, I think that's our holiday thing. Got to get the family unit back. We got to make Christ the center of that family unit. And I think that's the most important thing. Let's get back to the old days. Maybe put down the devices for just an hour or two.
Yeah.
Fellowship with your brother and sister in Christ. Get into a church. I'm not telling you what church to get into. I'm telling you to get into a church, fellowship with your brothers and sisters, shake some hands, get off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Get off the couch this Christmas Eve. I guarantee there's a candlelight service somewhere in your community. Get in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just go.
It will
And then
change
keep going.
your life.
Keep going, dude. Rick
Get
said
to
it
know
this
those
Sunday. Like, it doesn't have to just be on Christmas that we do this.
No, he said that in Bible study last night too. He's like, it's those check the box Christians of Easter
Yeah.
and Christmas Eve.
That's complacency, guys.
Because this church will be fuller than it has been all year on Christmas Eve.
It's been full the past few Sundays, huh?
Yeah, it's getting fuller. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a revival happening in this country. I really do. Rick had a sermon and he taught how, I don't know, what was the percentage? Look up Bible sales this year.
Oh,
2024.
I think he said it was like
In America.
2.1 million.
Yeah,
Oh, it's gone up.
13.7 million Bibles sold in 2024.
Is the Bible still the best seller?
Well, it is right now for sure. But that's how many new sales of Bibles. 13.7 million.
Does it say why?
Because people are turning back to God. Like, something's happening, bro. They're
Yeah.
tired of it, man. Gen Z, they're going, this is, we got a mess. We got left a big dumpster fire.
I also think people are starting to open up their eyes and realize what is actually going on around them
Yeah.
too.
Millennials
Well-
jacked it up, bro.
That's where that verse that we just talked about, Theo.
Yeah. Oh wait, it was Proverbs.
Proverbs
3, 5, and 7.
1,
Okay.
32 and through 33.
Yeah.
For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm.
Solomon was a wise man.
Dude,
That's why I've memorized that Proverbs just last week. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him. Do not be wise in your own eyes, but fear the Lord.
dang, he had it
Turn
up,
from
dude.
evil.
Nice, bro.
Oh yeah, you got that one, yeah.
I mean, it's huge because I feel like we can get complacent and not even realize it.
Oh yeah.
You know, like we
Yeah.
just sit there like, oh yeah, I'm fine. This is fine. I'm great. I believe in Jesus. I'm doing what I can, you know, with the time that I have. And then we look at it and you're like,
And then when you get into that mindset, that's when you start backsliding.
yeah, dude. And you make
You fall
excuses
back
for
in.
like, it's fine. It was a moment.
Yeah.
If I just sleep a little bit in later
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And then it'll
Are
just
you
progress.
still doing that book? Are you doing that book?
I haven't gotten the book yet.
Are you still doing it?
What book?
The
SoulCon?
yeah, that's that one.
Yeah, I'm getting back into it because I got sick. Yeah, sinus infection.
Sinus?
Mm-hmm.
Spinal.
I'm still getting over it, but yeah, I'm getting.
Dude,
back
I need
into it.
to get one of those books.
Yeah, Rick's buying them for everybody right now. He got them for
Is
Todd.
he doing it?
Yeah, he's doing it.
Todd's doing it?
doing it. Trevor and Ty. And then he showed me their group message and they were going through it. Todd, Todd's all about it.
Yeah, he's gonna lead that.
But I think Trevor's like, probably not gonna do that. But yeah, it's SoulCon, but I don't know, man. It's good. Family unit. Gotta get it back.
you know, there's someone at my work I could give one of those books to.
Yeah.
Actually, there's
Cody
two.
Babe.
Is it for new Christians or no?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's to train your mind how to.
Or if they're not Christians yet, maybe.
Yeah, it'll definitely get them to listen to this guy's story and everything. And
Because isn't it his testimony basically in one too?
a lot of it, yeah, it's just how to retrain your
Yeah.
mind to get it off that junk that we all get into every day.
Brandon, would you do it?
Always
He's
say
shaking
that.
his head
He
no.
always say
He's
that.
like- I mean, it would be great to get going on something like that.
Yeah,
where
it is, and
it
there's a lot of
takes
guys
you
doing
out of your comfort zone because then you won't be complacent.
it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're complacent, man, it's so easy to just stay there.
because you get comfortable there again.
Yeah, you're like, I don't need to get out of this, but yeah, you do. You want to be destroyed, you fool?
what'd you say?
What do you think I said?
Did you say you want to be destroyed? You fall. I don't know, man. Well, fellas, let's get together one more time before the holidays.
Yes.
Next episode will be our Christmas
Special.
special.
Ooh, is Brandon
Ooh.
gonna sing?
Brandon's gonna sing "Oh Holy Night." Ooh. And then we may get a camera on Brandon next week if he will show up here, and he'll be in his
No, that's
stable.
gonna make him not come, dude.
He'll be in his
We're not
stable.
gonna get a camera.
We're gonna put a
We're just gonna look like baby
yeah.
Jesus.
We're gonna put a robe on him, and he's gonna be in the stable. I got that backdrop that's like a barn.
Yeah, dude.
We're gonna put Brandon in the stable.
Hey, are you doing something?
reporting? He's gonna be reporting live from the stable.
Are you a part of the Christmas program?
No, I'm no,
You're not reading or anything?
no,
Nothing?
no. It's just
Oh.
the kids.
Oh, dang.
It's
Well,
just
we've
the
got
kids
like
program.
what DJ and Talia.
I don't know what they're
Sadie doing.
I don't know. They're just doing that, and we got the parade
don't-
this weekend. Parade of lights.
Oh yeah, when are we doing choir?
That's
caroling.
for Easter. Oh, caroling is Tuesday. This coming Tuesday.
This Tuesday?
And then no more Bible study until January the 7th. So we'll be caroling
Dang it,
this coming
this Tuesday?
Yeah.
was hoping it was going to be on one of my weeks off
No, it's this coming Tuesday.
because then I could bring Jax. But
I think it's the 17th. So,
yeah, the past few times I've gone to that, well, I think I missed last year's.
mhm.
Well, before that, it was great, man. That's
Yeah,
something.
we did
get
a
out of your
couple years.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone, dude. Go out there and.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So once again, guys, if you want to support the podcast, go to myfca.org. FCA.org or scan the
Can you
QR
not
code on the
put-
screen.
SSC on that?
Yeah, I can, but
Because I feel like people might like see them, but
yeah, but here you go. If you donate to FCA, that's my ministry that I'm not my ministry, but it's a ministry that I'm working for right now. That money goes to me. That money goes to me, and I fund the podcast. So you are supporting the podcast by
Mhm.
donating. That's my job, the ministry, to go out, reach all these high school kids, all these high schools, communities, things like that, going out there, building, advancing the kingdom, all that for Christ. If you scan the QR code, you support me, you support the podcast.
Yep.
It's all you got to do is support the podcast by scanning that QR code today or going to fca.org, typing in my name, Adam Tipton.
another side note is that it also supports a youth group.
It does.
Yeah,
supports
it does.
everything
Not just
that
this
we do.
podcast.
The
Is
youth
the
groups.
youth group, Street
Youth
Smart Christian
groups
Youth Group.
across southern Colorado. And FCA is a worldwide organization, so it's a legit fellowship of Christian athletes. Scan that QR code. You're doing it's a huge service. By doing that, it gets us to get better quality cameras, lighting, all kinds of stuff. We only can get better with your guys' help. So,
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, Theo, take us out of here, man.
If you're gonna talk about it, be about
it.